After testing both Jobber and Housecall Pro side by side, I actually think most HVAC companies compare these two platforms the wrong way. Because this really isn't about which software has more features. It's more about how your office operates, how fast your company is growing, how comfortable your technicians are with technology, and how much structure your business actually needs day to day. Because one of these platforms feels a lot more streamlined and lightweight, while the other feels more built around customer communication and operational systems as you scale. If you're new here, my name is Mikey from BizGlow. We create HVAC software reviews, comparisons, and walkthroughs to help HVAC companies figure out which tools actually fit their businesses without wasting time or money on the wrong platform. And in this video, I'm going to break down Jobber and Housecall Pro's dispatching, mobile app experience, office workflow, customer communication, pricing, automation, and which type of HVAC company I think each platform fits best. One thing I noticed almost immediately while testing both platforms is they create very different first impressions. Jobber feels calmer and more lightweight overall. The interface is very clean, menus feel straightforward, and I think most HVAC companies could get comfortable with it pretty quickly without a huge learning curve. I also noticed the dispatching and navigation experience felt very linear. You're not constantly bouncing through complicated menus or overloaded dashboards. And honestly, for smaller HVAC companies, that simplicity is probably an advantage, not a weakness. Especially if your office staff isn't super tech heavy, you have older technicians, or you just want software your team can actually adopt quickly. Housecall Pro still feels user-friendly, but you can tell pretty quickly it's built around more communication workflows and operational structure. There are more customer touchpoints, more automation settings, more communication tools, and more moving parts overall. Not necessarily difficult, just more system-oriented. So I think the first real decision comes down to this. Do you want software that feels lighter, faster, and easier for the team to adopt? Or do you want software that feels more structured around scaling operations and customer communication as the business grows? For HVAC companies specifically, dispatching is probably where your office spends most of its day. And honestly, this is the section that matters way more than giant features lists. Both platforms handle scheduling well, but they feel very different during actual workflow use. Jobber's dispatch board felt faster and less cluttered overall. Dragging jobs around is simple, schedules are easy to scan quickly, and I didn't feel overloaded with information while managing multiple calls. That sounds small, but during peak summer season, when the phones are blowing up, that cleaner workflow can genuinely reduce stress for smaller teams. I could especially see smaller HVAC offices liking how quickly dispatchers can move through the calendar without constantly operating extra windows or menus. Housecall Pro still has a very strong dispatch system, but it feels more communication centered. Things like customer notifications, technician coordination, appointment reminders, and workflow automations feel more integrated into the scheduling experience itself. So while Jobber feels more streamlined for dispatching speed, Housecall Pro feels more built around managing the entire customer communication process around the job. And depending on your company, that difference matters a lot. This was actually one of the stronger areas for both platforms. Because honestly, if your technicians hate the mobile app, none of the other features matter anyway. What stood out to me with Jobber's mobile experience is how little friction there is for techs. Everything feels linear. View the schedule, open the job, add notes, photos, collect payment, move to the next call. And I honestly think a lot of HVAC companies underestimate how important that is. A lot of technicians don't want a super complicated field app. They want something they can learn quickly without slowing down during service calls. Housecall Pro's mobile app also felt very strong, but slightly more feature-packed overall. One thing I really liked was how customer communication feels more connected to the technician workflow. Things like on-my-way notifications, automated updates, and customer visibility feel more polished inside Housecall Pro. And from a customer experience standpoint, that stuff actually matters more than people think, especially for HVAC companies trying to create a more professional service experience. Now for the pricing. I also think pricing depends heavily on what stage your HVAC business is in. If you're a smaller operation trying to stay lean and avoid overwhelming your team, Jobber probably feels easier to justify early on, especially because the onboarding and day-to-day workflow feel very approachable. HouseCall Pro still isn't nearly as overwhelming or expensive as something like Service Titan or other services, but I do think its value increases more as your operational complexity grows. Meaning, more technicians, more office coordination, more customer communication, and more process management. So again, I really think this comes down less to which software is better and more to which workflow actually fits your business right now. At the end of the day, I honestly think both platforms are strong choices for HVAC companies. I just think they solve slightly different business problems. Jobber feels cleaner, faster to learn, and easier for smaller teams to adopt quickly. HouseCall Pro feels more communication focused, more systemized, and more built around scaling customer operations. So hopefully this comparison helps narrow down which direction actually makes the most sense for your HVAC business. And if you want deeper walkthroughs of both platforms individually, I'll link my full reviews for both Jobber and HouseCall Pro below. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.